No turkey, no I can't, no more food. No more mashed potatoes, Mom, I can't. I'm so full, Mom. No turkey day. I'm so full. Oh, hey guys. Oh, I hope your Thanksgiving was awesome. Mine was delicious, so delicious. I ate an entire turkey all by myself. Oh my God. Oh, there's so much fluff in my belly. I think I ate too much. I gotta throw up. Oh man, I feel so much better. Now I'm alive and awake. I'm out of my food coma and I'm ready to do Kong vaults. Woo! It was a joke about King Kong, but we're on turkeys and I'm not sure how that correlates. All right, beautiful people, we are going to be doing the Kong vault today. Now the Kong vault is pretty much the most iconic vault in all of parkour. It's the one you see in all of the movies. It is what people use to go vaulting over objects and flying through the air in the parkour pose that you always see on the WFPF guy. It is the end all and be all of parkour. No, not really, but it is one of the most common vaults, and it is one of the ones that for most people in the beginning is very difficult to use. Once you master it, it's a lot of fun and you can use it in a lot of different situations, whether you're doing very small things or very powerful things. So let's get an idea of what a Kong vault looks like real quick. A Kong vault is basically my way of running, diving over an object, and landing back on my feet. If I just dive forward, obviously I'm gonna land on my head or on my face and all that fun stuff. So what I'm gonna be doing is running, jumping, and using my hands to give myself a little spin and pop myself over the object so I can land and continue my run, my flip, my whatever. As you get more advanced, these are fun because you can do Kong front flip, Kong gainers, all kinds of crazy stuff, double Kongs, all the more advanced moves you see, but it all starts here with the Kong vault. So let's start with our 60-second breakdown for the Kong vault, shall we? Oh, yeah, I love it when you guys answer questions. No, if you just do it in the comments, huh? All right, guys. So 60 seconds on the clock, and let's do our Kong vault. Now, for a Kong vault, you can run and do a punch takeoff or a gather stuff takeoff. I recommend if you're not on the spring floor, don't do the punch. It's gonna hurt on concrete, so you wanna be doing your gather step. Our goal is that I am doing a swing with my arms as I'm jumping off the ground. I want my arm swing to come up just over the top of my object so I can grab, and I'm gonna be pushing down and throwing the object behind me, gripping it and ripping it. Now, as I'm doing that, I'm going to be jumping and popping my butt up above the height of my shoulders. As my butt comes up above my shoulders and I start to fall forward, you can see from here I'd fall on my face. So I'm gonna grab the block, throw it behind me. As I do, I'm gonna pull my knees forward, which pulls me back into this straight up and down position and allows me to land on the other side. So I come in, big arm swing, grab, throw the block behind me, chest comes back up, knees tuck through and extend, and I'm landing on the other side, and that is how you do your very quick 60-second Kong vault. Oh yeah! I don't know why, it's just, everybody was kung fu fighting. All right, now that we've finished our 60-second breakdown, let's actually go in and break all the different parts down, because there are some really common misconceptions and mistakes that happen with almost every person I see when they first do Kong vaults. With the exception of a guy named Kevin that I met last night who showed up to the gym for his first time and saw a Kong vault and just did it. That is rare, so if you eat crap a few times, don't feel bad, which is why I always recommend when you're starting this one, do it, if you're outside, do it on grass. If you're not sure, and you have the ability, please come in and do it on the spring floor with a spotting block, one of the big foam ones. Not this guy, but we're gonna demonstrate on this guy today to make it a little more real. So, we're gonna run in. We are doing our gather step we talked about last week. I come in, I've got my arm swinging behind me. I'm gonna be stepping off of 2 legs, and my goal is to swing my arm, finish my arm swing, a full extension, whether it's forward, up, whatever. In this case, because it's about the height of my hips, I'm swinging to about that height and jumping off the feet at the same time. Now, there are some things regarding this that are a big no-no, and this is the most common one, all right? I call this the cookie monster. People run in, and as they jump, they slam their hands down. Now, it seems natural. I want to jump up, so I'm pushing down on the object. Fun little thing we can all try at home. Everybody find a countertop. Stand in front of your countertop. Lift your hands in the air, Slam them down as hard as you can, but probably not, because that would actually really hurt. But just imagine, if I stand here and I slam this as hard as I can, will it ever lift the rest of my body off the ground? Absolutely not. So all we're doing here is, a lot of people when they run in, they slap down, and all that's doing is throwing themselves down into the object as they're trying to jump, which is the opposite direction. It's like the people that are like, I'm going to do a backflip, and right when they take off, they throw their hands forward to grab their knees. It's the opposite direction, and we don't want to do that. Not to mention, it just hurts. Imagine trying to run in, slap the thing, and jump. It's just not going to happen. What we want to be doing on our takeoff here for this Kong vault is swinging our arms just above the object so we get all the momentum and power of the arm swing, just like I would use for a jump. But in this case, I'm setting it just above here, and then I'm going to bring the hands down, push off the ground. I can get a lot more power from standing here and pushing than I can from slamming the object. It's just not going to assist me. So we want to extend that arm swing, boop, grab the top, push, and jump. Now when you do this, you gotta pick your distance for your Kong vault. Okay, a lot of people, it is kind of scary, so they like to get close. Now I can't really do an arm swing, I can't really lean forward, I can't do anything. If I start to jump here with any momentum, I'm gonna slam my knees into this. So as scary as it is, you should start your Kong vault a couple of feet away from your object. I like to think about half your body height. So if I'm gonna be Kong vaulting this, unless I'm running from really far with a lot of power and I have a big dive, I'm gonna be going from about 3 feet away. So by the time I lean forward and extend, my arms come through without hitting it. If I do that same thing here, busted knuckles. If you've ever swung your hand into something like that with straight fingers and busted knuckles, you're going to have a bad day. So before we get into this whole thing, if you've never done a Kong vault or any type of Kong stuff before, you should go back to our earlier tutorials where we do our floor Kong and our Kong up. Both of those are going to be a great help in learning the body position and what you should be doing, because this is the more advanced version of those. So real quick, let's just do a brief recap. Floor Kong, all I'm doing, hands on the ground, I'm in a push-up position with my butt slightly in the air. I'm going to jump my butt up so it is higher than my shoulders, throw the ground behind me. This is the position where I've already done my arm swing and I'm beginning to dive. So I go here, little push, and I'm trying to bring my feet through the middle. Swing, push, feet through the middle. That would be the equivalent of doing it on here if the ground or this vault box was the same height all the way through. All we're doing is adding a little hill in the middle. So it'd be like the same thing, but instead of doing it, it's like I'm placing my hands on a slightly higher object. Remember that you can start as small as you want. You don't have to start on something half your body height. You can grab a panel mat, a small spotting block. You can do a stair, a curb, or whatever. You can do stuff really low to keep it on the safe side and build your confidence with the skill before you just start hucking it. After you've got your floor Kong and you feel very comfortable, the next thing you're going to do is come over here with what we talked about. We're going to start a little small, a little less power. We're going to do our Kong up. It's the exact same idea. I'm here in my split step. I swing my arms. I set my hands down. From here, I'm going to jump. I'm going to let my head drop down a little. I'm going to pop that booty to the sky like I'm getting a wedgie. And as I do, I'm going to tuck my knees in between my hands and give myself a little push off my hands. Okay? When you do this, try not to do it so much with your arms. This is very common, but then I have to absorb down, which throws off the rest of my body. What we want to be doing is the shoulder block that we talked about in our tutorials for... Goodness, what did we talk? We've done so many tutorials now, but there's definitely one out there. So go be a detective like Batman and find a shoulder pop. I'm not sure why I talked about Batman in that voice. That was kind of weird. All right, but the shoulder block is pushing here through our shoulders and our lats and our chest, not through our arms and our elbows. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to push down, pop my booty, and I'm pushing myself up on top. You want to be able to land with your chest up. If you're landing and almost falling forward, get this one down before you put it all together for your Kong vault. All right, before we go on to the actual Kong vault, one last thing I want to show you guys. So we've done our floor Kong on a flat ground. We've Konged up onto an object. The last part, and the really scary part for a lot of people, is as they commit to this Kong over, they are so worried about clipping their toes. Catch your toes and your feet get stuck behind you, you are going to take a face plant. So you better watch them shoulder roll tutorials, huh? Yeah, pulling it all together. Full circle, baby. So what I like to do to get people used to the idea of that edge and catching their toes so it's a little less scary. And remember, I'm going to demonstrate on here, but you can start on something as small as you want. I recommend going outside and doing this off of a curb, especially, or like a planter where you can land on grass. So if you do catch your toes and eat crap, you're landing on something soft. Don't eat crap though, that's disgusting. You guys need to calm down. So what I can do here is I can start in my floor Kong position. the exact same thing, but what's happening now is there's a drop on the end. So I'm gonna do the same thing, a little jump, my butt pops up. I'm gonna grab right here, grip it, and rip it behind me. And as I do, throwing it behind me, I'm gonna try to pull my chin and my chest up and tuck my knees through the middle. When I do this, if I do it from right here where my shoulders are and try to throw, I'm not gonna go forward. I need to jump, and as my shoulders come over past my hands and I throw, now there is room for me to get my legs through. If I try to do it here, I'm just gonna catch on my toes, and then I'm gonna fall on my face. And you guys are gonna make fun of me in the comments. I'm gonna cry. My mom's gonna come down. She's gonna fight you. She's gonna beat you up. You're gonna cry. Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. Then your mom's gonna come out. You know what happens next? Mom fight! Mom fight! Ha! All right, so same idea here. You'll notice, if you guys watch, as I do this, my shoulders are behind my hands. As I go, I have to commit to this point where I'm going to fall on my face. And I save myself by pulling through, pulling my chest up, and tucking my knees. My shoulders go past my hands. Little pull right there allows me to do it. All we're gonna do now is mix the three of these together. I'm going to run with a little more power, a little gather step. I'm doing the arm swing we talked about, not slapping down. All right, all I'm gonna do here is as soon as I start, I'm gonna try to pop my hips up above the height of my shoulders, all right, just a little bit. If nothing else, at least horizontal, if not hips up above shoulders. Now when we do this, where does our hands go? I don't wanna be gripping right here in the beginning, right? First off, if I slip and miss up, that's a bunch of busted knuckles. No fun. What I'd rather be doing is extending my hands as far across the object as I feel comfortable. You know why? Because if I go from here and do my Kong over the edge like I did there, I immediately drop down. If I put my hands right here, I now have to Kong another 18 inches and clear that with my feet. So if you're just starting, get your hands as far to the edge of the object as possible. Then the same thing happens that we just did on our Kong down. At this point, all we've done is run, jumped up, and now we're doing that Kong off of the object. So when we put it all together, we're gonna come in, all right? As I come in, bending the legs, you'll notice I'm dropping down a little so I can explode up as I jump. If I'm already right here, it's hard for me to jump my body up. So I wanna come in low, swing, jump, butt comes up, throw yourself through. All right, so come in, super fast. All right, I want you guys to watch, and this time I want you to listen to the sound of my hands. When I go through, I'm not slamming them down. I'm reaching, now they're in front of me, and I'm gripping and pulling behind. So although there may be a little noise, there's not a lot. There is no big run. This is what we don't want to see. You see, there's not as much power. My hands sting a little. My body position was all out of whack. I didn't land very strong or gracefully. That's not what we want to do. All right? So we've gone all over all the major things for our Kong vault. Coming in, hips up, proper arm swing, setting the hands down, gripping it, ripping it. Again, if our hands are here, letting shoulders get past our hands. This is super important. Once you get comfortable with this, this whole thing of just getting your shoulders past your hands while you're hanging over an object is going to assist you later on when you want to do palm spins, wall spins, all these different crazy things where you're locking onto an arm and your shoulders have to be dangling over the precipice of doom. All right, guys, that has been our Kong vault. I don't know, man, what are we gonna do next week, coach? Next week, we're gonna be doing what's called our down Kong. That's where we actually stand on an object, and instead of just standing there and Konging off of a flat object like we did, we're actually gonna go jumping to our hands in our Kong position to an object lower than the object we're on. So you're gonna wanna make sure you warm up them wrists. I believe there's something here about liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing, because sharing is caring. And yeah, I should probably think these things through before I just start spurting things early in the morning. Oh, is that, yeah, thanks. I appreciate your brutal honesty, you bunch of punks. I'm not sure why I made that noise. Then we'll come over an object. Oh, are you recording me or just listening to the sound? Meh. Meh, you see? Meh.